Silver just made history. Honestly, though, how's it really doing? We're going to talk about how it's performed over the last 60 days, the pullbacks, the peaks. We're going to talk about how high I've seen it going, how low I've seen it over the past 60 days. We're going to talk about where it might possibly, end up by year's end. Some people are saying 60, some people are saying 100. I don't know. We're going to get into that. And just, I'm just sitting here ranting, talking about it. It's Friday night, October the 10th. It looks like about a little after 6 o'clock. Markets closed. $50 and a penny to end the day. Historic high. In 1980, it got over $51, but it never closed above 50. In 2011, same thing, over $51 intraday trading. Again, no $50 close at the end of market day. Well, the end of the session today, October the 10th, 2025, it did. It broke 50. That was history for a closing price. Not a history for a high, but for the closing bell, $50 and a penny, never has happened. A lot of people are saying, buy silver, before you miss us out, before it goes too high. Some people think it's going to hit 60, 70, maybe even 100 by year's end. I mean, it's kind of scary. I don't think so, but it's possible. Anything's possible. But what's the rest of the economy going to look like if it does get to 100? Or can the economy handle 100? I don't know. Again, I'm just spitballing. I'm just sitting here. I got off of work today. Sold a lot of silver today. We're going to talk about the demand of the silver, how available it is as well. Well, let's get to a chart that I did pull up over here on Kitco. The past 60 days, let's see how it's performed. It's got some peaks, some pullbacks. Pullbacks are very important. That is correct. Okay, here it is right here. We got 37.50 right around here. It's starting around 37.50 on August the 11th. I mean, wow, that is, what, a $12, about $12.50. And then you pull a little pullback. It went up a little, pulled back right around August the maybe 19th or 20th, and kind of a steady rise there. And it came back across up again. And then it peaked a little bit right here around September 16th or 17th, pulled back right in the 19th, 20th, and it started rising. Now, yesterday was a whole nother story. That's right. Yesterday, October the 9th, everybody's like, oh, it's going crazy. It's over 51. This is what they're saying during the day. I seen a high, and I could have been a few pennies higher. I don't know. $51.26 intraday. But I also seen it as low as just a couple pennies over 48. That's a big swing. That's like $3, almost $3.50, $3.40, somewhere in there. That's a lot of swing for one day. That is unusual. I mean, gold swings like that $3. Gold is actually $4,000 right now, which is a plus for that, right? But we're going to talk about silver. Silver is, like I said, $50 and a penny. It swung. A lot of people thought it was going to go. Well, believe it or not, I did my first whatnot auction yesterday, and I sold silver. I'm like, oh, wow, this is great. I sold it for $47. I sold it for $57. It was just kind of all over the place. But how are the wholesalers handling it? The wholesalers are a little out. I ordered 1,000 ounces today that I sold. And believe it or not, they said, oh, you got to wait 7 days before we get it. So that's going to put me out about 2 weeks. It's starting to get tight. They're still selling 90% at and below melt to coin dealers, which is, I guess you could say it's a good thing. But then we got to pay shipping. And so is it really under melt for us? I don't know. But what I do know is that under melt 90%, if this pure silver is going to keep being hard to get, that's not going to stay cheap. It's going to get some premiums on it. I've seen premiums over the past 60 days from the wholesalers as low as $1 under spot and as high as about 50 cents over spot. I mean, right now it's not that high, but that's a big range even for a wholesaler to sell to a coin shop. Now, you're asking, Keith, you're telling me what's going on. You're telling me silver had a $3.40 swing yesterday, but what about today? What about October 10th? Well, October 10th, today, it's about 6 p.m. right now. Now, I was working the shop today. We sold a lot of silver, ordered some. But the thing is, it had a high of 51.17, and I seen the low peak down to about 49. It closed yesterday 49.04, but it did get down to that range. Could have been a few pennies lower because I was so busy. I wasn't watching it all day, but I was seeing the swings. These violent swings, they're not normal. What's that going to do, having these swings? It's going to help silver, believe it or not. Because what's happening when you see these, swings down and the swings up, it's people selling their paper contracts. People, if it goes down a little bit, they'll buy in, because they're making profit. They'll sell it if it goes up. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's just basic economics there. Now, the paper market is what's going to affect the price of silver. The physical market, it's a demand issue. That's where the premium will come in. We will use, a coin dealer will use the wholesalers. They'll use the virtual price that you see coming from the COMEX or Kitco or wherever you happen to look. They'll use that, but eventually that could be affected by industry, because if they cannot get the physical silver, they're going to go to the COMEX and they're going to pay higher. They're going to be willing to bid more to get it, even though there's not that much silver out there. What are you, like 200-300 times the physical silver that they show on the paper market? It could never, all the paper contracts could never be filled. But when that demand, that physical demand from industry starts affecting the paper market, that's when we will see a huge increase in silver price. I'm not saying it's going to happen today, tomorrow. Well, it's definitely not happening today. Market's closed for the weekend. I'm not saying it's going to happen next month, next year, or even 5 years from now. It will happen eventually, where the physical market will pressure the paper market to go up. It's just common sense. Because if you don't have the physical stuff, these companies that are using it for your cell phones, for your computers, for your TVs, whatever they happen to be making, if they need that silver, they're going to go to the COMEX, they're going to bid on it and try to get it. And then they're going to say, I want my physical silver. And that's going to force the price up. So for the long term, silver is definitely an asset to have. It preserves your buying power. It preserves, everything you've already earned. It ensures the money that you have, that you can still, in 10 years, buy the same amount or same quality or whatever of product you get today. If you can get a half a loaf of bread or a loaf of bread for a silver dime, no matter how much bread is in 10, 20 years, you're still going to be able to get a loaf of bread for a silver dime. And I think that's probably, you might even get some change back at that rate. This melt is just under 36 times face. I don't think bread costs $3.60 anywhere, does it? I don't know. You tell me in the comments below. So again, like I said, we did our first Whatnot show yesterday. If you want, check us out over there. A lot of shows are scheduled in. We'd love to have you. And as far as where I think silver's going to go, that's right. Where is it going to go this year? Again, as long as we don't get too many people getting too scared and dumping their silver, thinking, oh, it's at the highest point, I think we could see an upward trajectory, so it'll go in a positive direction, obviously. But if some people get FOMO'd into thinking it's at its peak, or investors sit there and say, well, this is a high enough profit for me, I'm going to sell it and I'm not even going to buy it back. We don't know what people are thinking. There's a lot of sentiment in the price of silver. But what I do think, and again, just my opinion, I'm not a financial advisor, so please seek a financial advisor if you need help. If you think, you want to invest in silver, don't do it blindly. Do some research. I mean, just keep on doing your homework. Talk to people. Watch videos. You can watch them here. We got a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people in the other forums, even in the news cycle, you see it. So watch the videos, do the homework, talk to a financial advisor, and be wise. Don't get scared. Don't worry about it being at the high. Don't worry about it being at the low. Buy what you can afford to buy and feel comfortable with buying without having to borrow the money. Never borrow money to buy silver. So, like I said, the end of the year, I'm not going to put a number on it, but I think we could see a positive direction as long as this momentum that has happened since it looks like August 11th there at 37.50 right here. You're looking like 37.50, and then it goes up to about $50 yesterday, just under 50. So definitely get you a piece of silver if you don't already have silver. And remember, what is it, like 3 or 7 ounces that people can't have? If every person on earth had it, again, I don't know the figure. I'm just a guy. I am just talking, rambling. So if you like this video, please leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us where you think silver may go. I'm not going to give you an exact number, but I think it's going to be positive from where it's at today. And this is the first day of the history being made by silver. That's right, $50+ an ounce. Never before has it closed for this. So again, guys, leave a comment, leave a like. Let me know what you think. Until that next time, have a great day.